Hi everyone, is my voice audible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so yesterday we have completed our module number 8 that is related to UML diagrams, and today we are going to see with module number 9. So module number 9 is all about BPM, RUP and RAD. So these are the three different topics. BPM stands for Business Process Modeling, RUP stands for Rational Unified Process, and RAD stands for Rapid Application Development. So among these, BPM and RUP are important. RAD is a outdated technology. So, but I want to give some information related to RAD, like no need to take care of RAD. So just from for your interview preparation, you can concentrate on BPM and RUP. Now, coming to BPM, BPM stands for Business Process Modeling. So what is business process modeling means? So as a BA, whenever you are placed in a project, so first what you need to do is you should try to understand the existing process of the business, like what kind of process the client is following in the present process. So if you know the present process, it will make you easy to gather the requirements or to do enterprise analysis. Okay, so identifying this existing process is nothing but BPM, business process modeling. So BPM is an activity that represents the current process of the business. So with the help of BPM, the current process of the business can be identified, and this will help you to modify or to change the process or to customize the process as per our requirements. Okay. So to define BPM, BPM is a collection of structured related activities and tasks to produce a particular product or a service for a particular customer. Okay. So it is a collection of structured related activities and tasks. That means whatever the task and activities we are going to do. So it is a collection of all those tasks and activities. Okay. So here you can see there are some points. So business process modeling means, like, what is process model means? A formal way of representing how a business system operates, illustrates the activities that are performed and how data moves through the process. So a process model can be used to document current system or to illustrate new system. So use case and data flow diagrams are among many techniques to support business process modeling. Okay. So here we have three types of business processes. So what are those means? Management process, operational process, and supporting process. Okay. So this we are going to call it as sub process, and the entire business we are going to treat it as super process. Okay. So let me explain about all this process. So management process means the process that governs the activities of the business. For example, like budgeting, strategic planning, corporate governance. So all this comes under management process. Okay. Then operational process, the process that constitutes a core value and create a primary value stream. That means what are the basic operations of a project? Suppose if you are in IT company, your operations are to deliver the project. If you are in manufacturing company, your operations are to manufacture. If you are in sales, your operations are sales. If you are into advertising, your operations are advertising, which is going to give you the benefits. That is nothing but operational process. Okay. Then third one is supporting process. So the process which supports for your core business activities. For example, like HR department, accounts department, call center, technical department, customer service. So all this comes under supporting process. Okay. So that means like all the activities and tasks within a project, we are going to divide into separate processes. Okay. For example, if you take a IT company, so whatever the project is there, we are going to call that project as a super process. Okay. Then in that particular IT company, all the tasks, whatever we are going to do, task and activities, it will be divided into different departments. If you see, so like there will be administration department, there will be HR department, there will be finance department, there will be operations department, there will be uh, IT department. So the collection of all these tasks and activities, like whatever the task and activities all these departments are going to do, so BPM is the collection of all those. Okay. So the analysis of BPM typically includes mapping between process and sub process down to the activity level. Okay. So BPM is divided into several sub processes. So each and every sub process is going to have their own goal, but also helps in achieving the goal of the super process. That means the entire project we are going to divide into different parts, different processes. So each and every process, for example, if you take IT project also, it will be divided into process. Like we are going to have development team, we are going to have testing team, we are going to have designing team. So each and every team will have their own goals. So designing team is they have to provide a good design. Development team is they have to do good coding, and testing team means they have to do good testing. Okay. So each and every process will have their own goals, but ultimately if each and every process is going to achieve their goals, ultimately the super process will be success. So if each and every department is going to work fine, so ultimately the project will get fine. Okay. So BPM is defined as the process of business process of one or two, in which it explains how to carry the organizational goals, how to achieve the organizational goals. Okay. So the semantic BPM has approached as a the semantic BPM has launched as a new promising approach, in which we are going to have many flexibilities to capture the organizational changes. Okay. So BPM is going to use case and activity diagrams. Okay. So just go through the notes once. I will explain. So to say in a single word, BPM is nothing but doing process flow diagrams or data flow diagrams. So if you do data flow diagrams, like you will come to know how the data is flowing into the system. Okay. And what is the entire process. So just go through the notes.
Done. Done.
Okay. Let me show you some process flow, how it works. So this is how the process flow diagram looks like. So 90% like this will be done by the developers or designers, but there are chances like 10% of chances where the project manager will ask you to draw. So I will explain you to some part of this process flow diagram, because to explain this entire thing it will take nearly 2 or 3 days. So just to make you understand how the process flow diagram helps, I will explain you. So this is a process flow diagram for PDL. PDL stands for payday loan. As I said, I'm working for a product based company. So we are going to develop and implement applications for microfinance lending. So what is microfinance lending means? For example, in US, if you are applying for a loan in a bank, in case if your credit score is not good, then they are going to reject your loans. So those kind of people whose loans are getting rejected, so they will approach microfinance lenders, that is the private lenders. So they are going to provide you the loan by charging high rate of interest. Okay. So for the for those private finance lenders, we are going to design applications and develop applications. Okay. So QCH is one of our client, Quick Cash Holding. They are private finance lenders and they will be giving different kinds of loans like payday loan, then installment loan, vehicle loan, line of credit, all this. Okay. So this is one of the process for payday loan. So here the client will be having different stores. Okay. So whenever if the customer is visiting store, okay, so first we are going to check if he is a new customer or old customer. Okay, so if he is a new customer, then we will ask him to go for customer registration and then apply for loan. If he is an old customer, already he was registered, so directly we will say him to apply for loan. Okay, so once he applies for loan, then underwriting process goes on. Underwriting means we are going to take documents like his ID proof, income proof, and like all documents, whatever that are required, and we are going to verify. So that is nothing but underwriting process. So after doing underwriting process, we are going to decide if this borrower is eligible to take the loan or not. In case if he is not eligible, then we will deny the loan, saying the denial reason why we are denying, whether you don't have any proper ID proof or whether your income is not suitable, whatever it is. In case if he is eligible, then we will process for loan initiation and new loan will be originated and disbursed. Okay. Then after new loan is disbursed, in case if the borrower will come to repay the loan, okay, so at that time we will check whether the loan is in recent period or not. So recent period is like, suppose if you are taking a loan today, that is 4th. Okay, so 4th of October. Then if you are coming within 3 days to repay the to repay the loan, then we are going to call that as a recent period, and at that time we are not going to charge any interest or any charges. If you are taking $500 as a loan, you can repay $500 if you are coming within 3 days. That is recent period. So whenever if the borrower comes to repay, first we will check whether he is falling in recent period or not. So the reason why we kept this concept means, I will explain with scenario. Now you want a loan of $500. So you visited to a lender. So he has done your underwriting criteria and he says that, okay, as per your eligibility, we can give only $300, not $500. Now you will say, no, I want $500. Like I have a work for $500. But the lender says, no, it is not possible. We are going to give only $300. If you want to take $300, please let me know. Okay. Then you will say, okay, you give me $300, $200 I will check from other end, and you will make a call to your friend and you will say, okay, so $200 I'm going to arrange from you will ask your friend, okay, can you arrange $200? I'm going to return back in 1 month, and you will explain the scenario like I applied for $500, but as per eligibility, I'm getting only $300. Then your friend says, okay, you are saying anyhow, you will be returning back to me within 1 month. I will give you $500. You take why you want to pay interest. You don't pay interest. Simply, you will return back within 1 month. Then what you will do? You will go to the lender and you will return back whatever the loan you have taken within 3 days. If you are going to do that, he won't charge any interest or any percentage. So that is recent period. Okay. So first we are going to check whether the loan is in recent period or not. Okay. Then after that, in case if it is not in recent period, then we will see whether you are making the payment before due date or after due date. In case if you are making payment before due date, then we will check whether amount you are paying is equal to outstanding amount or not. When amount is equal to outstanding amount, we will call it as early payoff or buyback. So we are going to take the amount and we will close. If amount is not equal to total outstanding, then we are going to call it as a partial payment. Okay. So in case if you are making payment on or after due date, then we are going to check whether you have deposited the check or not. In case if the check is deposited, whether the payment has been done or not. So in this way, we are going to put the entire process in a step-by-step process. Okay. And this is helpful. Suppose if the client says that, okay, I'm facing some problem in depositing check. So what the developers will do is they are going to see this process flow diagram, and here they are going to take decision. Okay, they are not going to disturb any of this entire thing. So deposit is coming here. So from here they are going to open the code and they will see what is the problem. So that is the benefit of doing this process flow diagrams and to know the complete process. Okay, so this is one type of process flow diagram, and next one is like these are known as streamline diagrams. So I said we are going to do underwriting criteria. So here I have explained how to do underwriting criteria. So first we are going to check, is customer having one working phone number? If yes, okay. If no, we are going to put in the validation error. Then second we will check, is customer personal information reviewed? If yes, okay. If no, we are going to put in validation error. In this way, we are going to check all these points. So is customer bank account verification reviewed in last 365 days? Is customer income reviewed in last 365 days? Is customer photo ID reviewed in last 60 days? So whatever the things are not there, we are going to put in the validation error. And when we deny letter, when we are going to deny the loan, we will specify all those. So these are the problems with you. So you need to arrange all these. So in this way, this is nothing but another process flow diagram that is called as streamline diagram. Okay. Then next coming to RUP. So related to RUP, I have given some information in module number 3 while explaining different methods and models. Okay. I said I'm going to explain about RUP a little bit later. So today I'm going to explain. So what I will do is, in spite of explaining the RUP in a concept wise, here you are going to get some important interview questions. So nearly there are 6 interview questions. So what are those means? Like what is RUP, when we are going to use? Okay. Then why RUP is a heavyweight methodology? Then what are the 5 documents that are prepared by a BA in RUP? Then next one is, what are the 6 best practices? Then what are the phases in RUP? Then what is the difference between a document and a template? So these are the 6 different interview questions that you can expect from RUP. So I will explain you in interview question and answer format. So the first one is, what is RUP and when we are going to use? So RUP stands for Rational Unified Process. So it is a iterative method of doing project development. one of the iterative method we are going to use for do project development. We use RUP when there is heavy risk in the project. Okay, and whenever if you feel that there is heavy risk in the project, we are going to use RUP process. So it is also known as respiratory of templates. Okay, so here you can see some points. RUP is a complete software development process framework developed by Rational Corporation. So it's an iterative development methodology based upon 6 industry proven best practices. So process derived from RUP vary from lightweight, addressing the needs of small projects, to more comprehensive processes addressing the needs of large, possibly distributed project teams. Okay. Then second one is why RUP is a heavyweight methodology. So RUP is known as heavyweight methodology because a lot of documents are prepared in RUP. Like the project manager is going to prepare 14 documents and a BA is going to prepare nearly 5 documents. So total 19 documents will be prepared in RUP. So if you ask me what are the 14 different documents that are prepared by project manager, so it includes like is going to prepare project plan, is going to prepare team charter, so is going to prepare DAR report, decision analysis, resolution report. Then he will be taking care of requirement management, quality management, technical management document, risk management documents. So in this way, there will be nearly 14 documents. Okay. Now, what are the 5 documents that are prepared by a BA? So what are those 5 means? The first one is glossary, second one is stakeholders request, third one is supplementary specifications, fourth one is use case model, and fifth one is future and vision document. Okay, so these are the 5 documents that are prepared by BA in RUP process. Okay, so first one is, let me explain about these 5 documents. First one is glossary. So in this document, we are going to give the general description, like what is this project all about, who is our client, what kind of business he is into, and what is the legacy system he is using, and what kind of problems he is facing in that legacy system, and why we are implementing this project, so how it is going to helpful to the client, what we need to deliver and what we should not deliver. So these all we are going to include in glossary. Okay, then second one is stakeholders request. So stakeholder request is nothing but functional requirements. So whatever the stakeholder requirements are there, we are going to convert them into functional requirements and we will explain the functionalities. Okay, for example, while explaining about requirements, I have given a example of development of automatic payroll system. Okay, so there I have explained like different stakeholders. For example, the HR team will become one stakeholder and their requirement is to develop automatic payroll system where it is going to uh, calculate the wages of each and every employee on the last working day of the month and it provides the data. So HR team will become one stakeholder and this is a functional requirement. And second one is employee is there. So if employee is given is from and to date and click, then it has to show the attendance status. So that we are going to convert as a functional requirement. Okay. Then supplementary specifications means non-functional requirements. As I said, non-functional requirements are also known as technical requirements, supplementary requirements, quality requirements. Okay. So to do the functional requirements, what kind of technical properties the system should have? Okay. And what kind of softwares and hardwares we are going to use? So all this we are going to explain in supplementary specifications, non-functional requirements. Okay. Then next one is use case model. Use case model means whatever the tools, techniques and methods we are going to use. Okay. So suppose for enterprise analysis, if you are using techniques like it could be a gap analysis or it could be feasibility study. Okay. For requirement gathering, if you are using brainstorming or chat sessions. Okay. Then for communicating, if you are using MS Visio or rational rows, and if you are doing use case diagrams, sequence diagrams. So all this we are going to specify in use case model. Okay. Then fifth one is future and vision document. So this future and vision documents are nothing but it explains like what kind of futures this particular project will contain and what it is going to, how it is going to help in future, what is the vision, so by this project what we can achieve. So all that we are going to explain in future and vision documents. Okay. So these are the 5 documents that are prepared by BA. Then next one is what are the 6 best practices of RUP. So these are the 6 best practices. Develop software iteratively, manage requirements, use component based architecture, visually model software, verify software quality and control changes to software. Okay. So let me explain this. The first one is develop software iteratively. So iterative means repetition. Okay. So in REP process, we have to divide the project into small parts and we are going to focus on each part. So when you develop the project in small parts, then you will come to know exactly what are the problems in each and every module. So that's the reason we are going to develop this software iterative. That means we are going to divide the project into small parts and we will develop. Okay. Then next one is manage requirements. So manage requirements is nothing but based on the importance of the requirements, we are going to categorize like whether it is essential or core requirements, whether it is desirable or beneficial, whether they are kept under optional. So in this way, we are going to categorize the requirements. Okay. Then use component based architecture. It means depending upon the uh, data, whatever that data is there in that particular project, we are going to categorize. Suppose if you are having static data, then we are going to use two-tier architecture. If you are using dynamic data, then we are going to use three-tier architecture. Okay. Then visually model software. That means in RUP process, always we are going to develop with latest technology. Okay. So we are not going to use outdated technology. We will use only latest technology. That is nothing but visually model software. Then verify software quality. So verify software quality means like here we are going to check the quality of the project for every 3 months. Okay. So see, whatever the requirements we are going to develop, we are not going to use them every day. So might be for 10 or 20% we will be using every day, but rest of the requirements we will use based on scenarios. So here to maintain the quality of the software for every 3 months, we are going to take some dummy data and we will check all the requirements, whether they are functioning or not. So that is nothing but verify software quality. Okay. Then next one is control changes to software. So as I said, if you keep on changing the requirements, so it will damage the quality of the project. So you should not keep changing on requirements. Once if you are doing the requirements, ensure that it should be for a long time. Okay. So these are the 6 best practices of doing the project under RUP. Then what is the difference between a document and a template? Okay. So a template is a master copy which cannot be editable. So we can't edit a template. So documents are based on templates. But in RUP process, we can edit a template with the help of Rational Requisite Pro software. So this Rational Requisite Pro, when you install Rational Rows, automatically this Rational Requisite Pro will be installed, and it will contain a list of all the templates related to documents. Okay, so you can find out all the templates related to documents. Then, so here we can take directly the template and we can do the documentation. That is possible with the help of Rational Requisite Pro. Okay. Now, next one is, what are the different phases in RUP? So we have four phases: inception stage, elaboration stage, construction stage, translation stage. So just how in SDLC we have 6 phases, in the same way here we have 4 phases. So inception stage explains about life cycle objectives milestone, and elaboration stage explains about architecture milestone, and construction stage explains about initial operational capability milestone, and then transition stage explains about product release milestone. Okay, so let me explain what happens in each and every phase. In inception stage, here we are going to focus on business case, project case. That means entire team sits and decides whether we can do this project or not. So is it worthable of doing this project or not? Is it possible to do this project or not? Okay, so this stage is very important because for every project, it is mandatory first to identify the scope of the project and evaluate that scope in relation to the resources. So after identifying the scope, we are going to check whether resources are available or not. Okay, so this is very important phase. Then second one is elaboration stage. So here the developer is going to take a closer look at the project. So in order to uh, in order to build the architecture foundation and evaluate that architecture in relation to the project. Okay, so this is also a very important phase. So based on the data, if data is not having any business conditions, is going to do in two-tier architecture. If data is having business conditions, is going to do three-tier architecture. Okay, so this is also very important phase because the developer is going to analyze the risk involved by changing all the methods. The next one is construction stage. So this stage mainly focus on software development. Okay, so this phase mainly focus on software development. Like here, software will be developed, program will be written, design will be finalized. Okay, and testing will be done. Okay, all this will be done. So in construction, it is the stage where we are going to do the initial release of the project. To do testing, initial release of the project will be done to do testing. Okay, so it mainly focus on software development, design, testing, development, coding, and review. Okay, so the final one is transition stage. So here all the fine tunings will be done. All fine tunings means if you want to make any changes based on user feedback, installation, so that all changes we are going to make. So if you think that all whatever we have specified in inception stage objectives all are satisfied, then we will say the SDLC life cycle has been completed. Okay, so this is RUP. So just go through the notes once, and after that I will explain about RAD.
Done. 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 Done.
Okay. So next we will see with RAD. So RAD stands for Rapid Application Development. As the name itself implies, if you want to develop a project in a speeder way, then we are going to use this process rapidly. Okay. So here we are going to, it is a combination of both iterative and prototype development model. Okay. So here RAD compromises with performance and functioning with faster development and future maintenance. That means whenever you develop a project under RAD process, so you won't give any importance for testing during the development process. So after development, then you will start doing testing. So that's the reason it is a failure module. So the advanced version of RAD is nothing but agile methodology. So the basics how agile methodology came into existence means with the help of RAD model. Okay. So here you can see RAD model is a rapid application development model. It is a type of incremental model. In RAD, the components are developed in parallel manner. So it is a faster software development process. So here also we have 4 phases or stages. What are those means? Requirement planning, user design, construction, cutover. Okay. So in requirement planning, here we are going to do system analysis and system planning. That means the entire team, like managers, users, IT team, entire team is going to sit and decide what is this project all about, what is the scope, what are the business needs, what are the requirements, everything they are going to decide. So this discussion comes to an end when all the main members of the project will accept on some key issues and gives a note to the management to continue further. Okay. Then user design. So in this phase, the users are going to sit with the system analyst. Okay. And they are going to participate in preparing these prototypes and markups, which explains the inputs and outputs of a project. Okay. So here the RAD is going to use the JAR techniques to convert the units into workable modules so that they can customize the module or create the module which is going to satisfy their needs. Okay. Then construction phase, resembles like in construction phase, we are going to do design, development, testing, coding, and review. Okay. So here in RAD, the user can still participate in the project even after final reports and final design is finalized. So he can change the requirements if he feels that the requirement is going to give more, like if it is going to give much better result when compared to other requirements. It is possible. Okay. Then the final one is cutover phase. So cutover phase resembles the final phase of SDLC. So in this phase, like changing to new system and training and testing, all this will be done. So we are going to change the entire process to the new system. As a result, the new system will come into approach. When compared to traditional approach, the new system will come into existence. So when new system is developed, we will say that SDLC process has been completed. Okay. So just go through the notes.
Done.
Done.
Done. Done.
Okay. So this is all about our module number 9. It's a small one. So next week we will see with other modules. I will be sending the notes. You can collect it from your management. Okay.
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 Yeah.